Hare Krishna. सा सप्तिभि शतैरेको
सप्तभिशतैरेको
विंशत्या च शतं समः
विंशत्या च शतं समः
पुरञ्जना पुराध्यक्षो
पुरञ्जन
पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो
पुराधक्षो
गन्धर्वै युयुधे बली
गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली
बलि
स सप्तिभिः शतैरेको
सप्तभिशतैरेको
विंशत्या च शतं समः
विंशत्या च शतं समः
पुरञ्जना पुराध्यक्षो
पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो
गन्धर्वै युयुधे बली
गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली
सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो वन्दे गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली
सप्तभिशतैरेको शतं समः
शतं समः
पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो सप्तभिशतैरेको शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली.
Yes, online you can chant.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sa saptibhi satayireko vinshatya cha satam samaha puranjana puradyaksho gandharvair yuyudhe bali. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली हरे कृष्ण
प्रभुजी हरे कृष्ण सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी
सा सप्तैभिः शतैरेको विंशत्या च शतां समाः पुरञ्जनापुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी
हरे कृष्णा प्रभुजी सा सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली हरे कृष्ण
प्रभुजी दंडवत प्रणाम स सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनोरधादक्षो गन्धर्वो युयुधे बली
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी सप्तभिशतैरेको विंशत्या च शतं पुरञ्जनपुराध्यक्षो गन्धर्वैर्युयुधे बली हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी थैंक यू
प्रभुजी सा सप्तैरेको विंशत्या च शतं समः जनापुराध्यक्षो गंधर्वे युयुधे बलि. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Saha,
Saha,
he,
he,
Shaptabihi
Shaptabihi,
with 7,
seven,
Shatai
Shatai,
100,
100,
Ekaha alone, Vimshatya
Satya,
with 20,
20,
Cha
Cha,
also,
also,
Shatam
Shatam,
100,
100,
Samaha years,
years,
Puranjana of
Puranjana,
King Puranjana,
King Puranjana,
Pura Adhyakshaha,
Puraadhyaksha,
superintendent of the city,
Superintendent of the
Gandharvai with the
Gandharvai,
Gandharvas,
with the Gandharvas,
Yuyudhe
Yudhe,
fought,
fought,
Bali very
Bali,
valiant.
very well.
This five-hooded serpent, the superintendent and protector of the city of the king Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The 360 days and 360 nights combined to become 720 soldiers of Chandavega time. One has to fight these soldiers throughout one's lifespan, beginning with birth and ending with death. This fight is called the struggle for existence. Despite the struggle, however, the living entity does not die. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 2.20, the living entity is eternal. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचन नायं भूत्वा भवितवा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. For the soul, there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does ever he cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, everlasting, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Actually, the living entity does not take birth nor does he die. But he has to fight with the stringent laws of material nature throughout the entire span of lifetime. He must also face different kinds of miserable conditions. Despite all this, the living entity, due to illusion, thinks that he is well situated in sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Omagyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shashapti Shatam Eko
Sabi Satayeko
Satyacha Shatam Samaha
Satyacha Satam Sama
Puranjana Puradhyaksho
Yana Puradhaksho
Gandharva Yudhe Bali.
Gandharveyu
The
Devali.
five-hooded serpent, the superintendent and protector of the city of King Puranjana, fought with the Gandharvas for 100 years. He fought alone with all of them, although they numbered 720. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare
So
Krishna.
now,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
so now we have something in this main meditation. The main meditation is struggle for existence. Now 720 soldiers we are fighting means we are actually fighting with 360 days, 360 nights. Yuddha. And how many times we are successful in the fight, how many times we are defeated in the fight. Daily you can write down. And 720 fail. That is the result. So anyway, so the struggle for existence is part of the material nature. That is the design of Krishna. In a spiritual world, there is no struggle for existence. But material world, there is a struggle. And we see if we do not struggle, just like when we approach Krishna consciousness, we are told there are 10 offenses. बोलते हैं पहले 4 sinful activities, है ना? You have to struggle not to do sinful activity. Then we come to next level. Then in chanting, when we are beginning the chanting is Nam Aparadha, practically everybody. And as we struggle, then it becomes Nama Bhasa. And we struggle more, it becomes Shuddhana. So without struggle, there is no spiritual life. Spiritual life means struggle. Vacho Vega, Manasa Krodha Vega. Vega means struggle. It's not that, okay, I think like that, I do what I like to do. There is no struggle. Struggle means then there is a hope for spiritual life. We cannot go by the inclination. Presently what happens, we are following our mind. We do what I like, I don't do what I don't like. Right? Everybody is doing it. That is not a devotee, that's a karmi. Devotee means is struggling. There is a struggle. Pravritti esha bhutanam. So everybody is following his own inclination. Nivrittasya mahaphala. When he starts struggling, then great fortune will come. But in the spiritual world, there is no struggle because the inclination itself is pure Krishna consciousness. There is no struggle for maintenance because Krishna provides everything. In the material world also Krishna provides everything, but we cannot understand. He provides the rain, He provides the sun, He is providing air to breathe, He is providing our food. कुछ फैक्ट्री में नहीं बनता है. अगर फैक्ट्री में सूरज बनाते हैं क्या? फैक्ट्री में हवा बनाते हैं क्या? फैक्ट्री में खाना बनता है क्या? है ना? फैक्ट्री में पानी बनता है क्या? कुछ नहीं. Actually, even in the material world, Krishna is providing everything. But we cannot see that. In a spiritual world, they know that. There is intense love for Krishna. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bhavunam vidadati. Krishna is providing. But in the material world, prakriti sthani karshati. There is struggle. Mavai amsha jiva bhuta, mavai amsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manah shashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Krishna is aware of that. And that's because Krishna is saying that, that's a law. Everybody is struggling. Karshati. And in this verse, this says, what kind of karshati? 720. 360 days, 369, there is struggle which is going on. And what is the struggle going on? Struggle for existence, struggle for survival. So everybody is actually absorbed in the struggle for survival. And where you tell them, you read Bhagavad Gita, where you can read, is struggling to even exist. Okay? Audio is clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. He is struggling to even exist. So if you say, hey, please read Bhagavad Gita, where he will read? He has so much anxiety of existence. Therefore, generally we saw that when we go to colleges practically, when you go to lower colleges, one thing, the students will have low IQ. They will be less disciplined. There will be noise there because no discipline. And IQ is less, they can't understand what you're trying to say. On top of it, the struggle for existence will be so high, is bothered whether I get a job or not. It will be very difficult for him to hear or implement what you are saying. ठीक है ना? But when you go to the higher colleges, there, one thing, they are intellectually bright because filter हो जाता है education से. They can understand what you're telling. Secondly, they do not have anxiety for existence. They know that they will get a job whatever they do. Even he pass out of the college, and they have confidence in themselves because brand value is there, is from that college. So therefore we find it easier to teach in good colleges than lower colleges. So struggle for existence is so much in the society today, generally, overall. That is, somebody you present Krishna consciousness, the first thing he will be thinking, how do you maintain yourself? Even in people who are visiting the temple, when they look at the doctor, the first their anxiety is how you are maintaining yourself. In general, when we come to this platform, that is what the worry of the people is. How we are going to maintain. Now, Srila Prabhupada's life, you see, Krishna arranged his life in such a way, there was an immense struggle, huge struggle, which we are not aware of. And interestingly, Prabhupada never discusses that. But when you sit down and start reading Prabhupada's Leelamrita, you see, actually everybody should read once. Because then they will know we have to struggle to preach Krishna consciousness. They say, 4th generation destroy everything. The 4th generation destroys everything. This is the saying in the society. Say, 1 generation they struggle from the villages to come to the city, है ना? Society में. सब गाँव में ही थे, इंडिया में. The 1 generation ने struggle किया. They came, शहर में आए, बहुत मुश्किल से कुछ job लिया. Palace generation. 2nd generation, they develop on that. Oh, it's very nice. Things are available for us. They are in the city already. So they go to good school and colleges. 1st generation, they didn't have proper education also. Somehow came to the city, small, chota mota kuch kaam kiya. But 2nd generation, they get better education, they struggle, and they get better job opportunity. The 3rd generation starts building even on that, and then we are properly placed. There is good house in the city, there is good bank balance, everything. And the 4th generation, everything is free, it doesn't struggle, it destroys everything. This is called 4th generation of society mein, 4 generation mein sab nasht ho jata hai. So they said we should be also conscious in the ISKCON. Actually it's very important. How many of you have read Leelamrita? हाथ खड़ा करो. Leelamrita, not small biography, the complete biography. It takes for you to read at least 6 months. The big biography. Some chota wala nahi, detail. So that means something like 10% people have read. Okay? So I request other 90% also. It's available. You can type Veda base. I'll just show you. It's available. Okay? And you can do this. And then in all the books that you get more books. Okay? And then you can locate Leelamrita here. Can you see this book? And please read. Okay? It's available. Now it's easier. I find it easy reading from digital media, physical books. So now, or you can purchase from a local temple, you can go and purchase. If some people find it some people say in the beginning the books are more needed. Later you want to do research, digital media, whichever way, but read. Idea is read this way or that way. So you will actually find that after the disappearance of a spiritual master, and spiritual master left with Srila Prabhupada an order, preach this movement all around the world. So Prabhupada took this very seriously, and the instruction also given was, please speak to the English speaking people, है ना? 2 instruction था ना, विश्व भर में इसको फैलाओ और English speaking people जो है उनको लिखो, उनको प्रचार करो और print books, किताबें print करो. These are the three instructions, various instructions, and Prabhupada tried to do as a family man. He was writing books. He also wrote his first commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. But he found no support at home. As I discussed yesterday, 55, 54, 55, that is the time Srila Prabhupada left the house. And he decided now let me, because why? If the house is supporting, there is no need to leave the house. If the house members are also Krishna conscious and they are also fully working with him, there was no need to. Just like Prabhupada did not ask his disciple to leave house at any time. No. Take care, because he said, take care that you are in a devotional setting. Then what is there to need a house? So now at the age he is of 54, 55, at this moment, he is deciding that there is no support at his house for his Krishna. Rather, there is disturbance started. When he is taking class in a place, other members are having tea in another room. No support. And his manuscripts are disappearing and are being sold for raddi. Imagine when he will do that, कोई आपका आप कुछ लिख रहा है, उसको उठा के रद्दी में बेच देगा, मतलब कोई वैल्यू ही नहीं है ना? तो इसका कुछ फायदा नहीं है, क्या आइडियाज है? And on top of it, his business collapsed. So at that time, Prabhupada began an intense struggle to launch his Guru's mission. Whole life is a struggle. But you see, he is not feeling struggle. Just like if you see Prahlad Maharaj is attacked every time by the weapon of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj is not struggling. He is just on samadhi on Krishna, which is natural for him. Which is natural for us to remember Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj for a 1 minute is not possible. 1 minute नहीं कर सकते हैं प्रहलाद महाराज जैसा कृष्ण का स्मरण कर रहे थे, for us that will be a huge struggle. 1 minute के लिए आप if you can meditate on the holy name, so massive struggle. आप नहीं कर पाओगे उसको. But Prahlad Maharaj is natural, he is the advanced devotee. So there was no struggle. He was absorbed in Krishna and Krishna was protecting him. He never had any anger or difficulty. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, you see in his personality, there was no frustration or anything for the struggle. He was an instant ecstasy. But he is trying to do something because his Guru's order is there. He wrote a letter to the president of India, I am crying alone in wilderness, can you help me? No reply. He wrote to Gandhi that you are such privileged person, the whole world knows you. Can you help me? You can discuss with me and you can take up the mission. Prabhupada said he will stick to politics. He's thinking how to do it. He wrote some articles in a journal in Japan. So they wanted to have a conference and they wanted to have a book first and then have a conference the people present their articles. He took the Light of Bhagavata book first time. He wrote that book. He requested how it can be illustrated by he doesn't have any resources to arrange. Then working out. He started his own league of devotees in Jhansi with putting all the arrangements, writing the schedule, arranging for a place, everything, and finally he sees it is taken away. And Prabhupada is in a very despair situation with a great difficulty. He had almost started his movement in India and the situation beyond his control, that opportunity was taken away to make a center for kitty parties by the wife of the governor. What he can say? He is not in power, he doesn't have very powerful people with him. And at that moment, Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, he met his godbrothers. The section of Gaudiya Math was favorable to him. So he met, there was Keshav Maharaj, who was going to give him sannyas. And he expressed his desire. He said, no, so Guru Maharaj, that is referring to Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, very much like your writing. So we have a magazine, you can contribute for that. Sorry, yes, Sajjana Toshini, yes, that's my Guru's magazine. Yeah, he said, whatever you write should be printed. So you can give some nice articles. I'll do that. Okay, then another God brother suggested, why don't you in Delhi we have a Gaudiya Math, you can go there and you can also, write some, we also have some magazines and all you can write for. Oh, that's nice, that's nice. And Prabhupada thought maybe because he was not able to do anything alone, he can do with, along with his God brothers. He came. He took an opportunity, came to Delhi, he stayed in the Gaudiya Math. But he saw the condition, there is no money there. No money. And second thing, the devotees are very neophyte. They're quarreling with each other. Quarreling with him also. He found a situation totally inhospitable to do his mission. Struggling. And then he saw there is one magazine, I think, whatever the name of the magazine. He wrote to his god brother, now we are distributing only 500. We can make it 1,000. He went to the printer. Printer said, okay, don't worry, I'll charge you the same cost. Because many times we find that hardly much difference. At the beginning level when you print quantity, the rate collapses very fast. He said, not much difference. He wrote, can I print double? No extra cost, and I can arrange for the printing cost will be same, he said. Because, but I can arrange for paper. Prabhupada was enterprising. He knew people. I can go meet him and all. I can get some extra paper, this, that. And we can have a magazine. He wanted, it should be like the biggest magazine in India at that time. Illustrated Weekly, another magazine. It should be bigger than that. He was planning, that is the mode of preaching at that time. We don't have mobiles at that time. We don't have internet. So only thing is books by which you can preach. So he's thinking in this way, but he found no support. No support. Then Prabhupada wrote a letter that I can meet important people in the city, but I don't have even proper clothes. Look at the struggle. Can I get just 2 sets of clothes? So that 2 sets, मतलब एक set पहनूंगा, एक set धो दूंगा, है ना? Every day. यहाँ तो एक हफ्ते में भी कपड़े पड़े रहते हैं. Prabhupada, that is because we are coming next generation. Prabhupada one generation. Prabhupada disciples, how much struggle? जब इंडिया में आए थे कुछ नहीं था, कुछ भी नहीं था. मायापुर में कितना स्ट्रगल हुआ था to make a temple, है ना? And we are there for 1, 2, 3rd generation, 4th generation, destroy everything. Because everything comes free. What is the need to work hard? What is the need to struggle? अरे सब ऐसा मिल गया ना. And then what happens when there is no struggle for spiritual advancement? Then Maya will take over. Then we cannot fight Maya. Maya will just crush us. And then the moment it destroys, then again start again. So you see the struggle of Srila Prabhupada. So much struggle. Even 2 sets of clothes are not. 2 set kapade ke bhi nahi hai. Dhang ke. Because Prabhupada said, I can meet important people, but kapade to na dhang ke. So he wrote and all. And he got a letter more or less requesting him to get out. In a very gentleman way. I don't know how many of you have read that. Get out letter. You are, very wonderful, but for you this place is not very comfortable. And your guru, Prabhupada had taken sannyasi guru, he also wants you to edit his own magazine. I think the blah blah, but basically get out. 2 set kapde ke de diye but, and Hare Krishna. What is he trying to do? He is trying to preach, he is trying to have nice, spreading of Krishna consciousness, and letter is get out in a very nicely worded way. So Prabhupada now where does he go? League of devotees has finished. League of devotees is over, and now he has this opportunity that is also gone. He tried his best. So we cannot say why the Prabhupada start his own mission. Why didn't he continue his guru's mission? There was nothing left in it. There was no energy for preaching, no desire to preach. And rather settle down, just like a normal ghar mein hota na. Prabhupada said, Shri Radha Govinda ki, the temple had become a joint mess. Joint mess mein kya hota hai? Pura anxiety paise ka hi hota. कौन जाएगा, थोड़ा पैसा लाएगा, फिर हम लोग खाना खाएंगे, पूरा एंग्जाइटी खाने पे, इतना खर्च हो गया, उतना खर्च हो गया. श्री राधा गोविंद की. And then after that, That's it. And the new months will start. Every month new bills come. The whole focus, if you do not struggle to plan to preach Krishna consciousness, the whole struggle will become by laws of nature, food. That's all happened to Gaudiya Mata. And we say 4 generations, so those generations were destroyed, finished. Whole thing got destroyed. And Prabhupada saw that. And Prabhupada many times referred to Gaudiya Mata as the joint mess. Joint mess, समझ आता ना? कोई पैसा लाया, कोई खाना बनाया, कोई परोसा, कोई खाया, and that's it. There is no energy to preach. He saw that, he was not very happy. He saw that difficulty. And then now Prabhupada is nowhere. He doesn't have a place. But Prabhupada was visiting some important people and looking for an opportunity. Then there was some help came from somebody whom he knew was in charge of Gita Mandir in Delhi, Birla Gita Ka Mandir. Then he met that person and then that person, and then Prabhupada arranged a big meeting. Imagine he is resourceful. He printed 500 pamphlets. He is arranging a meeting where he wants to talk about the great mission to take the message of Bhagavad Gita and take it all around the world. He had important people to come to speak in that, Abhi boliye kuch, Abhi boliye, aap ye kariye. And then Prabhupada is presenting what he wants to do. There is so much actually struggle that we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. So, if we just touch little, every day you read for half an hour Lilamrita, you will understand the spiritual life is not a joke. That if we are not struggling to preach Krishna consciousness, then you will struggle to control the senses. It's simple law. If there is an intense struggle, because intelligence has to be engaged. If the intelligence is absorbed, how is it I can take the message of Krishna consciousness to people? If that is the place intelligence is absorbed, then the struggle for existence, Krishna will take care. And you can peacefully preach Krishna consciousness. And the intelligence will not go in a negative way, because the intelligence can be engaged, just like you say, okay Baba, I'll memorize important shlokas. Simple struggle. When I chant, I'll hear every word. Very nice struggle. Correct? These are the struggles. If you are working on a struggle to do sadhana properly, if you are struggling for your own purification, then actually, then your mind can easily struggle for preaching Krishna consciousness and you will be effective. But if the struggle is not in this direction, then the intelligence which can be used to expand Krishna consciousness, the same intelligence will be used to plan sinful activities. Kaise chupke plan karke. Just as some colleges they have, generally no colleges permit students to smoke. They don't encourage, neither to drink. But we know that practically 90% students find a way to smoke and drink. No parents want their children to be involved in so many things, but secretly they get involved in so many activities which the parents don't want them to do. What they are doing? Basically, they are using their intelligence to do sinful activities. है ना? Society में हो रहा है ना? So, this is what actually will be the result if our struggle doesn't happen to preach Krishna consciousness. How do I do it? We cannot do it individually, but how is it that more people can take up Krishna consciousness? There are sometimes big meetings people do. At home, क्या होता है घर में? Whole household meets. Now monthly bill is coming this much. What we should do, to pay this bill? How we should do this? Some level of anxiety is needed. Why Krishna is doing all that? Because some level of anxiety is needed, otherwise person will sleep and go to tamoguna, which is worse than even rajoguna, and go to hell after. Too much anxiety is also not good. That becomes ugra karma. Person can't even chant Hare Krishna. Zero anxiety is also not good. because then person will sleep. But there has to be some level of anxiety. And if our anxiety, because otherwise you do sinful activities. So to Krishna save you from sinful activities will create anxiety of your existence. But in case you are taking anxiety for preaching Krishna consciousness, Krishna doesn't have to do this. He will take care of that. You just think about it from Krishna's perspective. Krishna is looking at you. Okay? Now you are having an anxiety for your existence. So Krishna will say, fine, keep it that level. Because it is good for you that you run around little to fulfill your anxiety of existence. Krishna says, better do it. Because if he keeps you free at that level of consciousness, which is not struggling to preach Krishna consciousness, the consciousness is for maintenance, then Krishna what he will do? Krishna will say, better that, let it be there. Because if he doesn't have struggling for maintenance, the person will do sinful activities. So Krishna will say, better, good. Like Arjuna was also happy, Duryodhana was also happy. So people are happy at their own. Yes, I'm working hard. I'm maintaining myself. I'm struggling for existence. Good. Krishna will say, keep it at that level. But when we start struggling to preach Krishna consciousness, Krishna says, I'll maintain you. But that requires faith. That is not easy. The faith that if I dedicate myself to spread Krishna's name, organization is just one association, correct? But principal factor is factor. It's not that organization is different, no. The principle, if it is there, just like Srila Prabhupada created an organization himself, individually, doesn't matter that. We cannot imitate Prabhupada, but principle was that he was struggling to preach Krishna consciousness to the extent we can't even do that tapasya. A person is not having even 2 sets of clothes. He's thinking, what should I do? He's meeting this person, he's meeting that person, and it's not one day. For a decade, this kind of a struggle went on. Not one day. 720, day and night ho gaya. And 1 year ho gaya. Okay, 720. Then it is 10 years. 7,200. Intensely absorbed to fulfill the mission of the Acharya. Correct? And very soon, Krishna took away that second struggle. Actually, it doesn't need. He is playing our part. Srila Prabhupada's life is actually, he could have from the day one, he doesn't need to do any struggle. But why this external kind of struggle? For us to see. You have to convince Krishna, that we want to spread your message. Then what does Krishna will do? He'll take care of you. Prabhupada jokes about it. He said a small company, those days only 2 main companies, Tata Birla. If you are saying, okay, I'll propagate your good name in the city, the companies have crores of budget for that. मैं आपका नाम spread कर देगा, बहुत अच्छा company टाटा का, तो टाटा आपको maintain करेगा ना. You will become marketing director or something, है ना? They'll maintain you. So similarly, if our anxiety is, how is it more and more people take to Krishna consciousness, Krishna will take away your anxiety of existence. Just like in Srila Prabhupada's case, an example. So where was Prabhupada struggling? Then over. Hundreds or externally speaking, he was not struggling at any day. When they asked Srila Prabhupada, must have been very difficult. No, Krishna took care of me very nicely. He is in another platform. He is in ecstasy. Okay, but externally for us, there was a huge struggle. But then what happens? Krishna gave him the whole movement. So then there should be no complacency. Just because, okay, now we had a struggle, but now temple, there were no complacency. Now we struggle. There are no facilities now for people to, if they want to come and stay, there are no facilities. We are adjusting in this way, that way. Still, and then we have to preach. There are many devotees in ISKCON, not one, they made 10 temples. Prabhupada made 108 temples. Correct? So where we don't end, don't just retire. Like yesterday we were discussing, retirement is from material activities, not spiritual activities. At 54, 55, we were yesterday discussing that. Retirement is from material responsibilities. Retirement is from material existence. But there is no retirement in spiritual life. Just like suppose somebody is doing a job, first thing he wants holidays. Anna? Because retire. Because the activity is very boring. And a certain time it becomes, my God, I cannot do, and the body is coming down. We discussed yesterday, the prana, the energy reduces after 50. The Prabhupada said 50, maximum 55. So the person energy is reduced. So therefore, material life, person is recommended. Anna, is recommended to retire at 54, 55. But in spiritual life, there is no retirement. Rather, and spiritual life, until we come to the platform of Shuddha Nama. Because more or less, our spiritual progress can be seen by the quality of our Nama. And also the quality of services. We are not Haridas Thakur, the 24 hours will chant. We have Nama to do, we have services to do. But the quality, bringing it to the platform of Shuddha, pure devotion service, is a struggle. So this is the area of our struggle that should not go away. Huh? Okay. Externally, we are also having, we are having two things going on all the time. There is some struggle for existence, definitely, but at the same time, if we become absorbed, totally absorbed, and sitting, planning, how do I preach Krishna consciousness, then this struggle will go away. Prabhupada had that, we read that famous letter of, as soon as money accumulates in my Krishna conscious movement, 50% should be invested of printing books, and 50% other expenditures, The managers of Krishna conscious movement should be extremely cautious in regard to this point. Otherwise, the money will be cause of unnecessarily hard work and list of all the problem purposes. So what does the letter means actually? The basic thing is again same. If you are not investing your resources for preaching Krishna consciousness, if you are not taxing your brain for preaching Krishna consciousness, if you are not sitting down and planning to preach Krishna consciousness, be ready. Maya will destroy you very soon. Correct? What is the meant of association? Association means kya matlab? Not a joint mess. Association means, kya hota hai? Any house, what is association? A joint mess. कौन आदमी खाना बनाएगा, कौन आदमी ऑफरिंग करेगा, कौन आदमी पैसे लाएगा, कौन आदमी घर को क्लीन करेगा. This is a joint mess. Every house is nothing but a joint mess. Correct? And if there is a meeting in the house, it is only by कैसे थोड़ा पैसा salary बढ़ेगा. If anybody goes to them or they go to temple, what they are praying, God help me, I should get little more money, my salary increase, help me that my children can also grow up and they can good jobs. यही होता है ना prayer. The whole absorption is where? On struggle for existence. So why Krishna should do anything better for you? He said that is good for you. Because the struggle is needed for you, because this is not that you will do sinful activities. Better be engaged. Better be, bhaagne do, better hai. Because he cannot sit. If he sits, okay, he at the person like that, he can sit. If I can, sometimes they say like that, Karmi. अभी ये बहुत स्वामी जी बहुत स्ट्रगल कर रहा हूँ, एक दिन सब छोड़ दूंगा, मैं भी वृंदावन मथुरा कहीं जाके बैठ जाऊंगा, गोवर्धन में बैठ जाऊंगा. बहुत लोग बोलते हैं ऐसा. It is good he doesn't do that. Krishna will keep him struggling whole life, because he does that. What will happen to him? He will actually do sinful activities when he is free from the struggle, because heart is not pure. Heart is not pure. You cannot sit without anxiety. If there is no material anxiety, you should have spiritual anxiety. Anxiety is needed. Without anxiety, you will go to hell. You have to have spiritual anxiety, if not material anxiety. For those who are not developed spiritual anxiety, better a material anxiety. And Krishna will ensure that the better material anxieties continue so that they can be engaged. Otherwise, सोएंगे 24 घंटे सोएंगे. Krishna wants that people be engaged. Therefore, he will keep material anxiety. अरे कुछ नहीं है, कोई आएगा, अरे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल आ गया, अब कैसे देंगे भाई? Suppose just In fact, the very interesting thing, Srila Prabhupada, now somebody came to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, no, don't leave money. If you leave money, your disciples will fight for money. Prabhupada said, yes, I'm not leaving any money. All money I'm converting to books. And now books ko kya karoge? Books is not money. And selling books is not easy. And your health of Krishna consciousness known by your capacity to sell. Let us see how many books you can distribute. Chalo bhai jao. Dekho jara. It is not easy. In fact, one of the best services when only books were there was book distribution. Jao bhai jara dekho. It's very difficult to make one karmi buy a Bhagavad Gita. Pasina nikal jata hai, nahi? है ना? I'm thinking I'm a great devotee. या बहुत कुछ सोच लो तुम तो कुछ भी कोई भी सोच सकता है. एक गीता देता हूँ जाके बेच के आओ जरा देखें जरा कितने महान हो जरा देखें तो आदमी जमीन में आ जाता है ना. आप तो बहुत महान थे ना. एक आदमी को एक गीता लेने के लिए आप कन्विंस नहीं कर सकते. ये हालत इतने महान हुआ इतने महान हो कि एक आदमी को एक गीता नहीं बेच सकते. इतने महान बन गए होते तो आदमी को पूरा जमीन में आ जाता है. एंड कृष्णा प्लेज अ लॉट व्हेन समबडी इज प्राउड नो कि एक किताब नहीं बिकेगी. डिवोटी कृष्णा प्लेज विद डिवोटीज वेरी नाइसली. जाओ जरा बेचो जरा देख. बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर है आपका बड़ा एक्सपीरियंस है. ठीक है. एक दिन 20 गीता बिक गई तो बड़ा खुश हो जाता है. देन व्हाट हैपन ही गोज नेक्स्ट डे और सिंगल गीता डज नॉट गो. इफ यू कंपेयर ये क्या हो गया. Actually, it is true. He sees the difficulty. It's not easy. It's very difficult. So to struggle to preach Krishna consciousness is not easy. You are thinking, I'll give books of Prabhupada to people. Nobody will take one book. You know? People will just reject. So there is a lot of struggle actually to preach Krishna consciousness. And for that, association is needed. Association किस लिए? किस चीज़ के लिए लोग इकट्ठा बैठे हैं? क्या प्लान करने के लिए? Not planning maintenance. That is there. But that should not. Therefore, one temple president wrote to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, no funds. Prabhupada said, plan to preach Krishna consciousness. Funds will be provided. Now, he is very dear to Krishna. When Prabhupada says that, that will happen. When Acharya says that, it will happen. There will be, all the resources will be provided to preach Krishna consciousness. But there has to be struggle. In fact, if you see any temple, generally, big temples, जो बड़े-बड़े मंदिर हैं, their congregation is 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. There has to be a struggle to, you can remain in one struggle, one level. हाँ भाई 20-50 आपका congregation है शहर में, रहो उसी में रहोगे पूरा जिंदगी. You say no. And how do you start? Can I make some people chant? People start chanting Hare Krishna, correct? Till now we have a temple, have achieved two things, bhajan and bhojan. लोग आते हैं, दर्शन ले लो, प्रसाद ले लो. But this is not a platform. In Mangaluru, practically every temple has achieved this. कोई एक टेम्पल नहीं जितना नहीं है. आपका कदरी टेम्पल में भी है, उडुपी में भी है, थोड़ा ज़्यादा है ना, कुदरोली में भी है, कटील में भी है ना. अगर आप बोलें कि we have achieved this thing, that we made a beautiful temple, people can have darshan and prasadam. ये तो मैंगलोर में सभी मंदिर अचीव कर दिया. इजी नहीं है ये भी, मंदिर बनाना भी इजी नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें आपका स्पेशलिटी क्या है? ये तो सभी लोग टेम्पल अचीव कर दिया. Your speciality will be a uniqueness that if we can have some thousands of people who are actually practicing Krishna consciousness. You know, Mangalore is very difficult. सभी जगह difficult है. You are from which place? गोवा. गोवा तो बहुत easy है ना. वहाँ आदमी नहीं, लेडीज भी दारू पीते हैं. यहाँ मैंगलोर में लेडीज दारू नहीं पीती हैं. गोवा में लेडीज भी दारू पीती हैं. वो ज़्यादा मुश्किल है. इट इज़ नोन एज सिन सिटी ऑफ इंडिया. वहाँ भी प्रचार हो रहा है, बहुत सेंटर्स बना दिए है ना. So ऐसा नहीं है. Our place is very difficult. Somebody told Srila Prabhupada, no, nobody is interested. Prabhupada said, you have to make them interested. No, किसलिए मंदिर किसलिए बनाए? You have to make them interested. It's not that nobody there. किसी को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो तुम कर क्या रहे हो? हाँ, प्रभुपाद को क्या लेटर आया था अमेरिका से? All of us are very interested. Please come to America. We are very interested to hear you. किसी को इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. प्रभुपाद अकेले रोड में घूम रहे थे. किसी को इंटरेस्ट नहीं था सुनने के भी क्या बोलना चाह रहे. Nobody is interested. but he made people interested. True? But Prabhupada had to struggle for that. Even to get a place, in fact, when he is negotiating for the rent, he doesn't have the money in his pocket. He is surviving every day in America. You should read all this. For us, it comes free. Already ISKCON has a name. Did we do that? We didn't do that. Already Prabhupada books are there ready. Did he print the books? Did he write the books? Oh, be ready. The institution has a name. Right? There's so many things are there which are ready for us. For him, there is nothing. There is not even an institution. That started later. And Prabhupada is struggling, going here, going there. So somewhere he's staying, everything is stolen, more problems, he's alone, doesn't know how to do. And then suddenly, he took a big risk. He took a big risk actually, take the matchless gift place. He didn't have money to pay him. And somehow he took that place, expecting, okay, things will happen. And then finally the movement started. Okay? And with so much planning, everything. Okay? So if we see from Srila Prabhupada's life, you see something very beautiful. He was definitely struggling for existence, but his real absorption was something else. Externally looking, Prabhupada is struggling for existence during that time. Say from his age 60 to 70, for 10 years, okay? After the League of Devotees, until the ISKCON started. Now in that 10 years, if you actually see, he was not struggling for existence, he was struggling to preach. And Krishna provided all the resources. Even, and Prabhupada has always said many times, okay, that if you plan to preach Krishna consciousness, all resources will be provided. That means it is now prerogative to us. If you sit down every day, personally first have your own struggle, because you have come to Shuddha Nama. We are actually what you are doing now, we are very happy. Chanting ho gaya? Haan, chanting ho gaya. If you do chanting, Chaitanya Charitamrita says with offenses, you can chant for billions of years, you will not be delivered. You have to come to the standard of Shuddha Nam. ऐसा नहीं है कि मरते समय suddenly you will become pure devotee. These many devotees are in that joke. The big Maya. So suddenly at that time, Prabhupada will come, my Guru will come, say me, whole life they are there. Why you didn't advance whole life? Every moment you have to advance in Krishna consciousness. Not that something will happen at the time of death. What is, you are doing so many sinful activities. What is the quality of a chanting anyway? क्या मजाक समझ रहा है क्या क्या? Many people think it's a kind of a joke to go back to God. ऐसा नहीं होता. You have to come to the platform of Shuddha Nama in this life and grow in this life. Correct? Then we'll take association of people after they die, no? Because nobody advancing, they're somehow chanting and chalta hai. Somehow you chant Hare Krishna, you will go back to God. Nobody goes like this. It's not a joke to go back to God. Okay? So we have to come to the platform which is known as Shuddha Nama, pure devotion. And for that, we need mercy. So we get mercy. Prabhupada says when you chant Hare Krishna, you get more mercy when you plan to distribute the holy name. उसमें ज़्यादा mercy मिलती है. So in this way, we should plan our life. Association means we plan how to preach Krishna consciousness, and we get in larger gathering. We plan in a bigger way how to preach Krishna consciousness, and then it's so Kevala Ananda Kanda. Srila Prabhupada personally said, if in a year GBC meeting happen more than 3 days, my movement is sick. This Prabhupada's statement. So as a whole movement we have to think, can we focus on preaching? Then whatever we're discussing, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Prabhuji, our temple distributed 1 lakh Bhagavad Gita. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Only that is, because that is the struggle. If that struggle doesn't happen, comes to the condition Prabhupada was sitting in a Gaudiya mat, practically an example of that. An Acharya sitting. Okay? Who are these people? Who are chanting 64 rounds, not 60. Gaudiya Mat, Bhaksanda Prabhupada time is 64 rounds. Chanting 64 rounds. They cannot detect an Acharya sitting in their midst. And they are fighting among themselves, irritating him on all the time. Not only that, they are fighting with him also. And when he's saying, can I increase publication 500 to 1000, they put him outside the mata. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bahut acha. Because, and they think, तेरे को ना मंदिर में थोड़ा खाने को नहीं है. He's saying, आप क्या publication की बात कर रहे हैं? मंदिर में खाने को नहीं है. Because whole anxiety has become a joint mess. He personally saw that. What do they do? He is thinking, क्या करेंगे? ठीक है. So we should not therefore come to this platform, and that will be the result of that, because Krishna will make you work, and that is good for you. Okay? But in case you can come, you see in the spiritual world, there is a Chaitanya Charitamrita, that instance, no? The devotees told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, can we eat mango? Chaitanya said, mango? He took a seed of mango, put in the ground. Beautiful mangoes, seedless. And aap khao, kitna khao? You can't eat. So many mangoes are there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself symbolizes that once. He said, how many mangoes I can distribute alone? Please help me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also said, Bharat Mumile Manushya Janma Hoile Yar, Janma Sartha Kari Karo Paropkar. You make your life perfect and join me. And then it become an instrument in my hand in distributing Krishna consciousness. And then Keval Ananda Kanda. There will be only happiness and happiness after that. So individually, collectively as a temple, collectively as a whole movement, if we come more and more in this planning to distribute Krishna consciousness, then there will be only happiness all around. And just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu maintained them. Did they have to work to make mangoes? No. It came automatically. The spiritual world, everything comes automatically. Nobody is actually working hard to get the resources. They are automatically available. Okay? So this should be our platform. We continue to practice Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, struggle for existence, fighting with the 720 days, 360 days and 360 nights, your life will be only on that. Bas marte raho. I remember in college time, I used to, in the night I'm sleeping, I used to think, today I'll have a heart attack. Idle mind is devil's workshop. And पूरी रात सोता आज हार्ट अटैक हो जाएगा आज क्योंकि कुछ काम नहीं है ना ऐसे ही काम करोगे. You will increase your anxiety for existence in foolish ways, and that will absorb your 720, 360 days, 360 nights, and whole life goes waste. Parabhavastavaddhavodayatam yavan jigyasa atma tattvam yavat kriya tavadadam manovek karmatukam yena sharira bandhaha. Parabhavas, whole life is a defeat. When you could not work for spiritual development, whole life will become a defeat for us. Just wasted, the time has gone away. Parabhavastavaddhavodayatam yavan abodhajatam, uselessly born as a human life. And then Krishna says, what did he use to give in human life? I gave him human life to struggle to advance his spiritual life. I gave him human life to preach Krishna consciousness. Particularly people born in India, that birth will not come. Bharat Bhumile Manushya Janma Hoile Yar, Janma Sartha Kari Karo Paropkar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving birth in India to do Paropkar. You are not doing Paropkar, okay, be born in another part of the world. Do Bhoga Bhumi. Enjoy nicely. Blonde girls will be there. You see beautiful girls will be there. Enjoy. No, Bhoga Bhumi is given for you. Enjoy. What is the use to give you birth in India? So Manushya Janma Hoile Yar. So most of you all people hearing, you're born in India. That's an opportunity. But you're not taking advantage of the opportunity. Then you're born in any part of the world. And if you're fortunate, meet some devotees. Otherwise, life will go on. So let us take full advantage of the opportunity that we have got today and become advanced in spiritual life. Hare Krishna everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Dandavat
pranam. बहुत
Hare
धन्यवाद.
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji,
Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandavat
Chalo,
Pranam.
take darshan.
Hare Ram.
Darshan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा
Rama
दंड
Rama,
प्रणाम
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare,
हरे
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,